Hey guys, what's up? Chris here for BeerGeekNation.com. Happy 2016. Posting this video a little bit later than I would have liked, but hey, that's what happens. The holidays kind of like snuck up on me. So here we are, January 2016. Looking back on some of my favorite beers of 2015. And like I say, every year, this is not the definitive list of the best beers I had in 2015. These were the ones that I only posted reviews for. So they're all out there in video format. And basically what I did is I don't remember a lot of the beers I review. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So I have to go back through, I basically limit the search. I look at through the last year's worth of videos, and when one jumps out at me, I know it was a good beer. I then go in and watch the video, see what I gave it, and typically it's either an A or an A+. I can just kind of tell by my kind of the muscle of my brain saying, oh yeah, that was a really good beer. So again, in no particular order I'm going to do it this year. I'm just going to kind of throw them all out there as far as what I thought were some of the best beers I had in 2015. Some obviously the most memorable beers I had in 2015, and actually drinking one right now. This is January. This is New Year's Day, so I'm drinking it's a Black Tuesday, but it's a rum barrel version of a Black Tuesday. It's 2014. Yep, and it's really good. It tastes a lot like Black Tuesday. I don't know if there's any differentiation between the rum and the bourbon, but hey, it's still a Black Tuesday. So with that said, let's get right into the list again in no particular order. One of the ones that really jumped out at me, one of the most recent ones, was the Sam Adams Utopias. I believe it was a 2010. Wow, that beer! It's just, you know, it's a $200 bottle of beer, and it tastes like a $200 beer. Super bourbony, so much barrel, sweet. Is that wine characteristic, port characteristic, bourbon characteristic, smoked tobacco, just absolutely fantastic. And one of those beers, luckily, it's not carbonated, so you can kind of save it, set it away, you can kind of open it, pour it. And everyone I get to have experience it with, get to share it with, really dug the beer, and I think it's really that good. And yes, it is worth the price of $200. So Sam Adams Utopia is one of my favorite beers, 2015. The next was the Prairie Artisan Ales, I believe, the Apple Brandy Noir. Absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite barrel-aged beers of the year. I love apple brandy beers. I think it adds a whole another level of complexity, a little bit of spiciness, a little bit of a sweetness, kind of fruitiness to it. And the Noir just shined. It was so barrel forward. Just absolutely tasted like apple brandy. Fantastic, but it had that chocolate and coffee and just blew my mind when I had it. One of my favorite beers, obviously, of 2015, if not of all time. So the Prairie Apple Brandy Noir was just absolutely fantastic. Next, it's a double IPA, I guess. Wicked Weed's Freak of Nature. It is their double IPA. It's now available in bottles, I believe, year-round. So if you can get it, get this thing. It holds up with the best of them. It's the best West Coast IPA I've ever had, and it's made on the East Coast. It holds its own to Pliny. It's just fantastic. Super dank, resinous, floral, aromatic. It's a big beer. It's around 10% somewhere in there, and you don't taste it at all. It's super dry. It's beautiful. So that's the Wicked Weed Freak of Nature. I believe it's in Asheville, North Carolina. I got to visit there this last year too as well. It's just awesome stuff. Next is it's two Trillium beers. I have to kind of combine them because I had them in the same night. Trillium Vicinity and Trillium Archaic. I believe I really like Trillium Archaic actually more than Vicinity. Trillium, they're just killing it. There's a million beers. I could make this entire list Trillium beers. Their IPAs are just fantastic. Now that they've opened this big production brewery, I'm hoping to see more out of them. They have a tasting room now. They're going to be producing a lot more beer, so look for big things from them. Probably get into some kind of distribution system. But Trillium Archaic, wow, one of the best double IPAs I've ever had. Okay, so the next beer at the Trillium Archaic / Vicinity from Bissell Brothers out of Portland, Maine. Their Swish. It's everything I love in the New England style IPA. Super fruity, floral, dank, just really just a gross looking beer, super ugly, non-filtered, 16-ounce cans. Awesome stuff, amazingly fresh. Bissell Brothers are killing it. There's a lot of guys up there right now in Portland, Maine, just absolutely destroying the IPA scene. But this one, when I had it, I'm like, yeah, that's the stuff. So Bissell Brothers Swish, if you can get it, definitely pick it up. The next one, not really much of a surprise, but kind of a surprise because it's kind of a departure style-wise as far as the list goes. It was Clown Shoes Crasher in the Rye. It was a Scotch ale aged in rye whiskey barrels. I freaking love a good Scotch ale. And then the fact they threw it in the rye whiskey barrels really just ranked that up a notch. Spicy, bourbony, vanilla-y, with that big maltiness, sweet dark fruits. It's just an awesome beer. Hopefully you guys can still find it. The Clown Shoes Crasher in the Rye. And the next beer, and actually my number one beer, I just actually read it. And I realized, you know what, I'm like, that's probably not my number one beer. So I'm going to save that one for last. The next beer on the list is the Lagunitas High West Imperial Stout. It was their first, I believe, their first barrel-aged offering. I'm pretty sure it is. It was aged in High West rye whiskey barrels. Their Imperial Stout, awesome stuff, super affordable. I think it was like $9 a bottle for a bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout, 22-ounce bottle nonetheless. Huge amount of bourbon barrel characteristic, balanced out perfectly with the stout. You get the coffee, the chocolate, you get the bourbon, the vanilla, toasted coconut, awesome stuff. Again, a quality product from Lagunitas, of course, and super affordable. So say what you will about them, you know. But with that beer, that was a killer. Next is the barrel-aged Vietnamese coffee Speedway Stout from AleSmith. Probably super limited. You're probably not going to get to try it, but that was probably one of my favorite barrel-aged beers of all time. I love Speedway Stout. It's one of my top beers of all time. Add it into a bourbon barrel, takes it up a notch. Add the Vietnamese coffee in there and it just takes it up even further. It's an absolutely beautiful beer. Super coffee forward, tons of barrel, toasted coconut, green pepper from the coffee. Awesome stuff. Just absolutely, it's a big, intense, flavorful beer, but it's just so well-rounded and it's just absolute perfection in a glass. The unfortunate part is it's a ticket kind of release only, so Ryan, thank you again for hooking me up with that, but hopefully now with their big brew system, they can get more of that out there in the public. Who knows? Let's hope. The barrel-aged Vietnamese coffee Speedway Stout was fantastic. And the next one on the list, another double IPA. This one surprised me. It kind of came out of the blue, and I'm glad it kind of did. The Avery Raja, it comes in four packs of 12-ounce cans. It's basically a reimagining of Maharaja at a lower ABV. I think it's 8 or 9%. Really just kind of like a modern hop profile. They took the maltiness down a little bit, so it's more of that. It's kind of dry, West Coasty, but the hops are very floral, very tropical, sweet. I drank the hell out of this beer. I went through like 3 or 4 packs. It's just awesome. I loved it. I actually like it more than Avery's Maharaja. Maharaja, I've had it recently. It's just too malty for me. It's a little bit too sweet. There's not enough hoppiness to it. So I'm really glad they came out with Raja. It's just awesome. It's year-round. It's awesome. Pick it up. One of the best IPAs of the year. All right, guys, so my favorite beer of 2015, and again, I wasn't going to number these. I didn't want to number these, but I kind of went down the list, and when I hit that one, I was like, that's probably the one I would say is my favorite beer of 2015. It's a local. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a local from Weyerbacher. It was the Sunday Morning Stout. It's an absolutely beautiful beer. Imperial Stout, bourbon barrel aged with coffee, so well-rounded. Weyerbacher's kind of known in the area for doing really big beers. They're quad. They do a lot of, just really big beers. This one, I think, was the one that can really take it to the next level. This was the one I had, I believe, 2 Philly Beer Weeks ago. 2 Philly Beer Weeks ago. Had it on draft when they were just starting to serve it. And I was with my buddy Jeff, and I kind of turned to him and I was like, whoa, like this is the one. It's their KBS killer by far. It's almost as good, if not better, than Bourbon County Brand Stout. It's just fantastic. Get this beer. It's a limited release. They're going to release it again here. I hope they release more of it this time. I think it's coming up. It's fantastic. I went through like almost 2 cases of this stuff. It's just awesome. It's super coffee forward, amazingly bourbony, but it's got this big kind of dark fruit complex. Chocolate, coffee, we've got toasted coconut, vanilla. It's just awesome. Awesome stuff. 12-ounce bottles as well, which is always great. And I love Weyerbacher. I don't think they don't get enough credit like they should. They do a lot of great barrel-aged beers. They do a lot of great, really high ABV beers, a great double IPA, great, and I just don't think they get enough credit. And this, I think, is the beer that can really set them apart. For me, it just absolutely destroyed KBS this year. So my number one beer of 2015 was Weyerbacher Sunday Morning Stout, and you can take that to the bank, friends, because it was an awesome beer. Another great year in beer. Obviously, the whole maybe I might do another video on what I think is coming up in 2016, but it's been a turbulent year, to say the least, in craft beer. And thank you guys for all the support. It's been crazy. Beer Geek Nation this year has grown like it has never grown before. And it's very, very rewarding. It's hard work and it gets kind of annoying at times, but you guys make it worthwhile. I thank you so much, and I look forward to 2016 and beyond. So with that said, folks, remember life's too short. Drink amazing beers. Cheers.